Yo, listen up, squad. It's your boy KC420, and today we got a video, man. Today we got the boy, the one and only Shannon Sharpe in the building, bro. Now, if y'all don't know what's going on with Shannon Sharpe, it was alleged that he has did some things, which I'm gonna give y'all my opinion on that later. But Shannon Sharpe, the point of the matter is, Shannon Sharpe got a whole lawsuit levied against him, and right now we about to hear what it's about. It's about some lady, and I guess she wants $50 million, man. But we finna just do a quick briefing and see what's to that real quick, man.
I want to read to you a story that TMZ has published today. Shannon Sharpe sued for $50 million over alleged rapes. This came out this morning. Shannon Sharpe has just been sued for allegedly raping a woman on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. The lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports was filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada after she says Sharpe brutally assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 following a years-long abusive relationship. According to the suit, Jane Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. She stated in the docs during their first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake tits if she won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote in the suit that Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated she and the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. Quote, he demanded complete...
And this is what they always do. This is what they always do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Always thought of some way like that, man. Listen, you and this man, didn't nobody force her to go to no mansion. Didn't nobody force nothing on her, bro. Simply, he pursued her, bro. They got into a relationship. Now they're not in a relationship. Now it's some shit. That is crazy, bro. Personally, I'm going to just keep it a beat. I don't think he did what she's saying he did. You know what I'm saying? But there's going to be an investigation into this. You know what I mean? Because he's a big name. And we going to figure it out all in the end, man. But I just find it funny. You know what I'm saying? I just find it funny that she ain't say nothing until they broken up. Like, what's that about, man?
Over her time and body, attorney Tony Busby wrote in Doe's lawsuit, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at his command whenever he called. Doe claimed there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Her location with friends from her iPhone just in case, the document states. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing kill you. The two nevertheless continued the relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, Doe stayed.
So let me get this straight. You did some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying never put people, listen. Keep your hands to yourself, man or woman. Keep your hands to yourself. But let me get this straight. He held you up. You know what I'm saying? He yelled at you while there was a firearm in the room, like as if the firearm wasn't there before he started yelling at you, as if you ain't know that it wasn't there anyway. But what is she trying to imply here? Is she trying to imply that his intent is to use the firearm, or he's thinking about using them? I'm not sure what she's trying to say there, but you mean to tell me that a man put hands on you and you still went and go back? I'm telling you, squad, that's what that money do. I feel like this whole situation right here is a money grab. I'm just keeping it a being with you. It's a money grab. You know what I'm saying? She was around him, living the luxurious life. She can't do that no more. So guess what? Next best thing to do is accuse him of something and see if she could get some money that way. We see what they're doing. And then Tony Busby is on the case. The same guy that came at Jay-Z with a Jane Doe. I just find it crazy, man.
Her suit, she attempted to break things off after his infamous Instagram live streaming incident, which she said led to him raping her. Doe claimed in her suit the first...
Whoa, I. This right here is crazy. So you mean to tell me what's up with the live stream? Because we all know what happened in the live stream back in I want to say, was it the beginning of this year or the ending of last year? I'm not quite sure which one it was, but Shannon Sharpe had some, LGBTQ allegations against him during that time, and I don't know if it was a publicity stunt or whatever the case might be, but there was audio of him having intercourse on his Instagram live. Claims that it was an accident, right? But I want to know what that has to do with this whole situation.
Since happened in October 2024 at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old Pro Football Hall of Famer forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance, the suit alleges, happened a few weeks later in January 25. Doe claims Sharpe came over to her house with promises of delivering a Christmas and birthday gift to her, but instead violently sexually assaulted her once more. She's suing for over $50 million. Quote, "It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money," Busby said in a statement after filing the suit on Doe's behalf. "I look forward to pressing this case in court." Story ends. We've reached out to Sharpe for comment in the case, but so far, no word back.
Let me get your thoughts.
This is problematic.
Talk to me.
And yes, it's problematic. Like, hold on, they're in a consensual relationship. She's saying she's.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm not really getting that. But at the same time, do understand this thing right here, folks. Even if you're in a relationship or not, whatever the case, if your partner says no, the answer is no. Do I really feel like she told him no? I'm not sure. I was not there. You feel me? Now, I just find it crazy that, you claim that he did all of these things to you, yet you remain to keep yourself in that situation. I'm just saying, that is kind of weird, and you're not coming out and saying nothing until now. Again, I feel like this is a money grab. This is what they do to you when you are, rich, famous, you know that you have made it when you get to the point of, somebody trying to tear down your empire. And what they try these formulas all the time because it's the tried and true method, just levy some sexual assault against, allegations against the guy. Oh, say he beat me. This is crazy, man. This is how they get to you. You feel me? Brands, you're not going to get no brand deals no more. People don't want their name attached to this kind of thing. And get this, even when you get past that situation, and you're found to be not guilty, this kind of thing still stains your name, bro. It's reputation destruction. It never fully always comes off for you. And rather than being, not guilty until proven guilty, you are already viewed as guilty before you're even able to prove your innocence. But moving on.
This is very similar to what happened to Harvey Weinstein. The woman that he's in prison for, I think in New York or California, maybe it's California. They had a years-long consensual relationship that she claims involved a couple of instances of rape. And Harvey Weinstein's in prison. When they decide that they want to get you, they can come get you. And Shannon Sharpe's history, when you hear Tony Busby's name involved in this, Tony Busby is the lawyer out of Houston that was the leader of the Deshaun Watson massage therapist problem. And so what ended up happening to Deshaun Watson was there was one massage therapist, there was two massage therapists, and there was three massage therapists. Then the next thing you know, there were 5, 6, 7, 25 massage therapists. And he couldn't get out from underneath that. And if anybody look up the history, if it hasn't all been buried and removed from Wikipedia, but look up the history on Shannon Sharpe and why he left CBS Sports. When he was on the NFL Today show or whatever it was called over at CBS Sports, there were a lot of allegations involving baby mamas, ex-girlfriends, And they walked away from Shannon Sharpe and ended that deal because he had issues with women. And this used to be on his Wikipedia page, and then it's mostly either completely disappeared or mostly disappeared because money can do that. They can smear you or clean you up on Wikipedia. I was alive at the time when this went on, and when Shannon Sharpe came to Fox Sports, obviously I was there, and I was like, wow, the guy just got ran out of CBS for all these allegations with women. How do you go all in on that in this Me Too era? So it was always baffling. And when you heard me back then, slightly complaining or letting off signals like, man, what's Shannon Sharpe doing with all this, racial that, everybody's a racist, and he's putting on a do-rag and pretending like he smokes blunts and he's drinking and all this whole ghetto shtick. And I was like, oh, they got Shannon Sharpe by the little boy. He's compromised. And that's why he was hired. And so when you hear me on this show or when I'm on the Fearless show talking about like, hey, man, they only promote and install people that they can completely control as it relates to black men, as it relates to black men on these sports shows and on these television networks. In order to get the big bag and the big opportunity, they have to have you compromised sexually or criminally in just some sort of way where you're so filled with gratitude that when an executive like a Jamie Horowitz, who was Shannon Sharpe's boss, says, hey, man, we're going to have you play the role of a minstrel clown who comes on here and screams the race card, and you're going to be the Black Al Sharpton, even though Shannon, your history is you're not Malcolm X.
Exactly, bro. Your history is you playing football, my dude. You know what I'm saying? He's built a successful, career in sports, commentating on sports or whatever the case may be, and being in the NFL. Not only that, he does have his channel, which amassed millions of followers at this point, millions of subscribers. He did that breakout, interview with Cat Williams. He's a successful guy. He's bringing in the Shay Shay Club. That's bringing in like a lot of money. You feel me? A lot of money. He has a lot of revenue tied up everywhere. The guy got sponsorships, with all of these companies or whatever the case. He has Blue Chew. I don't know, man. What are you doing? You messed up. But let's go from here, and we finna check out over TikTok and see what they're saying over this side.
Yup, told y'all false allegations. Shannon Sharpe has just dropped proof showing that the woman is capping for money. Pause to read yourself, and pause to read yourself. I'm gonna give a summary for y'all don't like to read. Come to find out, Shawty freakier than my name. All the stuff she claims Shannon Sharpe did to her, she was asking for that through text. Come to find out she like black dudes. He cut it off after she started trying to get $25K per link up. After he cut her off.
So basically what I'm hearing throughout this whole entire shtick right here is Shawty's an escort. She's an escort. You know what I'm saying? You're selling the box. And really, truly, I see all of this happen a lot of the times. Man, you could just say you selling the box, bro. How much is it? We don't got to go through the games. I don't even got to court you. How much is it? You know what I'm saying? That is crazy to me.
In January, and she found out about his new $1 million deal. She tried to sue for $50 million. It must be that Michelle girl we heard on live. Shannon.
It's not.
You innocent, but I gotta tell you, bro. What type of demons you be having in your DMs? If what I read was crazy. Knowing that she ain't go to the police, they would have found out she was capping and trying to sell it and go to jail. I ain't gonna lie, all these executive orders Trump be signing, you need to sign an executive order to lock shotties up that do stuff like this, bro. Like, and I didn't even get to talk about the Drewski stuff here. I gotta talk about that a little later. But what do you guys think about this whole situation? Shannon, bro, just be alone, bro. Stop messing with these girls, bro.
Absolutely, and I absolutely agree. And you know what the problem with this is? Nothing is gonna actually stop until, people start getting, they have to face repercussions for all of these actions that they do. Accusing someone of something that they didn't do is, diabolical, to say the least. And a lot of people get away with this, There's no repercussion. You could ruin somebody's whole entire life and career and just get to walk away. No repercussions. And it's only gonna stop when we start, putting that pressure onto these false accusers. Let me get this straight. False accusers. Now, there are people and cases out there that are really true, but when you do things like this, it just takes away from the actual victims that go through stuff like this, and it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Believe all women, they say, but I say just assess the situation first, and if they're found to be making false accusations, I think they should get punished, and they should do the same amount of time that you was gonna have the other motherfucker do, bro. But that's just me, though. That's just me. That's just what I think. Only come out and say this kind of thing if it's true. But let's just jump right over to the comments and just see what the comments is saying. Somebody say if it's false, he needs to sue her. Sue her and get what? She probably don't even got it like that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said I would have sued her 50 million. Generational debt. That is crazy. He has $100 million valuation coming up. Shay Media. For Shay Media, and that's why this is coming out. And I just said this, his whole channel is doing great, and I feel like, Shorty wants a piece of that. I just find it crazy. They should be, facing repercussions when they do all of these false accusations, man.
I'm not a lawyer, but Shannon Sharpe is being sued for $50 million in a lawsuit that accuses him of a number of things. And I read the 14-page complaint, so let me tell you exactly what Jane Doe is alleging Shannon Sharpe did. Now, the lawsuit was filed by attorney Tony Busby, who we know well, on behalf of his Jane Doe client. The suit says that Jane Doe met Shannon Sharpe at a gym in LA in early 2023 when she was 19.
And let's stick a pin right there. I know we talked about this at the beginning of the video, but Busby, he's famous. He's the one that came out and accused Jay-Z along with the Jane Doe, as I specified before, about allegations in regards to Jay-Z and Diddy doing some kind of freaky-ish with the minor. Now, that was found to be false, and now Jay-Z is going after said Jane Doe. We should see how that turns out in the near future, you know what I mean? But moving on.
And Shannon Sharpe was in his 50s. Sharpe aggressively pursued her, and she eventually gave him her number. But before the two of them even hang out, he apparently tries to get her to sign an NDA. She refuses to sign it, so he eventually stopped asking and invited her over. Jane Doe agrees to go over, and according to the complaint, the very first night was disturbing and unsettling. The suit says he opens the door and without saying a word just walks upstairs. She follows him, he goes into his bedroom, and then points at the bed. He goes to the bathroom and then comes out, cuts out the lights, and then lays in the bed. Jane Doe says she didn't know what to do, so she just lays in the bed with him.
What?
And then the two of them lay there for 10 minutes, silently. And then after those 10 minutes, things started happening. The suit claims that at one point, Jane Doe realized that Shannon Sharpe was recording their encounter without her knowledge or her consent. And then the following day, Jane Doe comes back to Shannon Sharpe's house, but she gets there about 5 minutes after the time he told her to arrive. And so she says when she gets inside, he begins yelling at her, accusing her of disrespecting him and wasting his time. He then allegedly grabs her by her neck and then begins engaging with her. But this time he apparently tells her that he's going to end her life. And so, according to Jane Doe, this was the kickoff to the almost 2-year relationship that the two of them had, filled with control, physical, emotional, and psychological abuse. She notes that he once yelled at her while there was a firearm in the room, and because she was scared, she began sharing her location with her friends. But when Shannon Sharpe saw her sharing her location, he allegedly grabbed her by the neck and told her that if she did that again, he would end her life. The lawsuit says that in 2024, Shannon Sharpe and Jane Doe both moved to Vegas, but it notes that Shannon Sharpe apparently likes to claim that Jane Doe followed him to Las Vegas, but she says that's a lie and she went to Las Vegas for her own reasons.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
The suit says in September...
There's so many holes in this story, it's crazy. You mean to tell me that you went over there, y'all sat there for 10 minutes doing nothing? For 10 minutes doing nothing, not talking, y'all just sitting there, staring at each other? On some Terrence and Diddy shit? That's what you mean to tell me? This is crazy, man. This is crazy. And then the guy moved and up and went somewhere else, and all of a sudden you just have some business to go over there too to do as well. Please, man.
2024, when Shannon Sharpe did that infamous live stream,
That's my Michelle.
Jane Doe began to pull away from him because her name ain't Michelle, and she thought the two of them were in an exclusive relationship.
Oh, so that's what it is. Basically, that is what it is. You're mad because the guy wasn't in an exclusive relationship with you, and y'all thought that y'all were exclusive. So now you want to back up and you want to try to get some money from him? Boy, I tell you, ain't nothing worse on this earth than a woman scorn, man. This is crazy. So you're trying to ruin his life because he's not exclusive to you and because you think he was cheating? Is what I'm getting from this? Because your name ain't Michelle, right? Okay.
But clearly not. About a month later, in October
Why
of
she kept going back
2024,
anyway?
Jane Doe says that she was working out at the gym when Shannon Sharpe aggressively approached her. He comes over and tells her to sit down or he's going to end her life. Jane Doe's refusing to speak with him, and so he then allegedly forced her into his car, took her back to her apartment, and then without consent engaged with her while she was crying and telling him to stop. The suit specifically says that Shannon Sharpe told her, quote, "I'm going to punish this. I'm going to make it so no man will want you again." A few months after this, in January of 2025, the lawsuit says that Shannon Sharpe told Jane Doe that he wanted to see her and that he had a combined Christmas and birthday gift to give to her because he previously promised her one. So she allows him to come over, and when he did, the suit says that he undressed, and again, despite her screaming and resisting him, he engaged with her without her consent. And so she's suing him for assault and battery and emotional distress. And she's asking for $50 million. As of now, Shannon Sharpe has not responded to the lawsuit, and like always, these are allegations that have to be proven in court. It's also worth noting that this lawsuit references another Shannon Sharpe lawsuit that was apparently filed in New York last year and has similar claims, but I haven't read that lawsuit, so I can't speak to it.
We're gonna need a briefing
see how
later.
This one plays out. Ciao. All right, make sure you're following.
That is crazy to me, man. That is crazy. You know, we're going to see what happens with this situation as it goes along, but let's just jump straight into the comments to see what the people are saying now here, man. Someone says, why did she keep going back? And that's also one of my questions. If you claim that this guy is such a bad guy, why do you keep... I'm trying to tell you, it's the money. It's the money. Because if you claim that he's so bad, why do you keep going back? That is also like what I'm thinking. Why did he go back? Somebody here says here that's apparently what a victim does. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting things. Someone also says down here, so you just sat there for 10 minutes. I also asked that question as well, because there's no way you're just sitting there being uncomfortable, just sitting there for 10 minutes. Somebody says, as soon as I saw Tony Busby, and another Jane Doe. Trying to tell you. Another person here says, felt uncomfortable, but went back the following day. Very interesting, man. Someone also says underneath here, replying to the first comment and saying, went back for 5 years. I don't believe her, and I'm a girl's girl. It's like I said, man, I really feel like it's a money grab, you know, this whole situation, and I'm not really convinced, you know, that, you know, all these alleged things that she's levying against him are necessarily true. Now, I will say, you know, a lot of us, we into some freakish, man, you know what I'm saying, or the neck grabbing, or I'm gonna beat up that kid, you know, if you're into that, that's just what you're into, squad. But to come here and you know, be doing the most and saying that this guy did all of this to you and you kept going back, that is crazy to me. And I really just feel like it's a money grab. She's mad because he's not exclusive to her. Her name is not Michelle, and we know what happened on that live video. We know exactly what happened. Shout out to Blue Chew. Y'all need to give me a sponsorship one of these days. But we're gonna see how this story turns out, you know, as it goes along and as it moves along. And like I said, I feel like it's false. That's just my opinion. Y'all let me know your opinions down into the comment section, man. And I think that if it is false, he should sue the hair off her back, man. Whatever it is. But I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video, same way y'all gonna catch me in the next one, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications, get notified every time I upload. Y'all be cool. Y'all stay dangerous. Y'all stay fly. You know what I mean? I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. It's your boy KT420. We gone.